people, we are here at the third edition of Let's Talk Art, and tonight we are here at Motoworld. So let's go inside, we're gonna check it out, see what's happening, and keep you guys up to date. Let's go. Yes, I did. Okay. Glenda York. There you go.
In the meantime, you can handle out, mingle. We'll be handing out some welcome drinks in just a few. If you're interested to purchase any tickets for the food and snacks, you can do so at the bar first at the entrance. Also, we have a nice little walkway. You see, like when you're back the corner, we have something nice displayed over there. You can also check out the different boards. We can give you suggestions. And tonight, we're going to make this a very interactive night this evening. So it's not only about the panelists having their discussions, but we also want to include everyone here tonight. All right? Can I get a yeah? Can I get a yeah? Oh, you're sounding like you're waking up. So we'll be back to kick it off officially this evening in just a few.
I'm expecting connection, I'm expecting creativity, I'm expecting people to connect and really step out of the box of thinking, make that connection between what the business sector is doing and what our creatives can do, and how we further develop our product at St. Martin, not only for tourism but also just our own. Networking, coming up with ideas and bringing more awareness to St. Martin through this platform called Let's Talk Art. So yes, and good time, beautiful performances, and much more. I don't know, more creativity, yes.
Amen. Thank you so much.
I'd like to ask everyone to take your seats at this point in time, please. Have your seats. As we'll have some welcoming words by Naomi, and we'll get this evening officially started. So, as quickly as you can, please take your seats.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for coming on behalf of Let's Talk Art Foundation and the Let's Talk Art platform. We are super happy to invite you guys and have you guys to the third edition of our Let's Talk Art series, themed Creativity Meets Economy. So I'm going to wait a little bit for some more people to have their seats, and then we can do an introduction about what to expect this evening. All right, so I would love to thank everybody again. So Let's Talk Art is something that started 2 years ago, where we were brainstorming on different ideas on how can we bring more awareness to the creative scene of St. Martin, boosting our orange economy, because we realized that there's so much creatives amongst you guys, but there's so much creatives in St. Martin. So we had various different themes and different events, and this one is really how are we going to bridge the gap between our creatives and the business economy and the business scene on St. Martin. So we hope that this evening not only brings you connectivity and a wonderful experience where you can connect and hopefully create, but also that we talk about some interesting topics that make us think, or that we don't think about on a daily, but that can boost St. Martin's orange economy through our tourism and through different products. So I would say enjoy all the different elements of this evening. Enjoy our exhibition that was the first element of your experience. We have also the photo booth at the back. We have wonderful snacks. We would love everyone to sign the Let's Talk Art sign-in so that we have a memorabilia about everyone that was here creating a creative piece, and give your input. It's going to be a fun evening, beautiful performance, local performance, and I would like you to give yourself a round of applause for being here this evening. And I will pass the mic on to our wonderful host, King Verse.
Please stand. Where over the world, say where you'd find an island there, so lovely and small, with nations free, with people French and Dutch, though talking English much, as we sit Martin in the sea. Oh, sweet St. Martin's Land, so bright the beach and strand, with sailors on the sea and harbors free, where the chains of mountains gleam, very sweet sunlight sheen. Oh, I love my paradise, nature's beauty very bright. Oh, I love my paradise, nature's beauty very nice. Saint Martin, I love thy name, in which Columbus made, and memories of old are close. For me a great delight, thy Southern Cross the night. May God the Lord protect my cause. Oh, sweet St. Martin's Land, so rise my beach and sands, with sailors on the sea and harbors free, where the chains of mountains gleam, very sweet sunlight sheen. Oh, I love my paradise, nature's beauty very nice. Oh, I love my paradise, nature's beauty very nice. Oh, I love my paradise, nature's beauty very nice. Oh, I love my paradise, nature's beauty very
And we got a next big round of applause for Galician. All right, y'all may be seated. I'll take the seat too. All right. So we're about to make tonight, as I said once again, very interactive. So if you see the mic going around, feel free when the time is right. All right. You guys ready?
Yeah.
Nah. Yeah, y'all ain't ready. Y'all ain't. You guys already said yeah? I think you guys feel like we're in a concert tonight, all right? So, Right about now, I'm gonna invite our distinguished guests to join me up here on this lovely couch so we can talk art. First of all, we're gonna start off with Miss Regina LaVega, tourism expert and aviation specialist with a background in the tourism industry with over 35 years of experience. She has a bachelor in political science from Wells College in New York, an MBA in international marketing from Morgan State University. Career highlights include being the first woman to head the Department of Tourism within the island government from back in 1999. Can we give her a round of applause, baby? Also, the first female managing director of the Princess Juliana International Airport. Under her leadership, Essex Airport was named the best airport in the Caribbean in 2016. She managed to secure a 132 million bond issued on Wall Street for airport improvements, made St. Martin the first Caribbean airport with LED runway lighting, and transformed the airport into the region's most intelligent with self-service kiosks. Current roles include Senior Policy Advisor and Chef de Cabinet for the Ministry of Tourism. She founded Pinnacle Consultants, a tourism, aviation, and business consultancy. Also writes the Let's Talk Tourism column for the People's Tribune. She's also been recognized as one of the 100 most influential women in tourism worldwide back in 1999 by Travel Agent magazine, award winner for the SHCA Pineapple Award in Tourism Community Development, and Conscious Living Foundation Personality of the Year back in 2015. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for Miss Regina LaVega. You have to join me. You can't hide there. All right. Our second panelist to join me here this evening is no stranger to the stage. Award-winning recording artist and cultural producer, Malika Maxwell. Classically trained vocalist with years of professional experience, she launched her professional career as a lead singer back in 2016. Major achievements include National Institute of Arts Emerging Artist Award back in 2016, recognized for her discipline, professionalism, creativity, and vision. As well, she has had many discographies and releases, including This Journey, Apron and You. Did I say that right? You know I'm not French. I pardon him. Naked, Rise Again, and Talking, among others. Her recent projects include, you're going to say this, Le Heure Doré. How you translate that in English? The Golden Hour. I'm going to put these things in English for me. She has The Golden Hour, which is a curated summer experience series. She's having one already, which was back in May 19th. So there are 3 elegant gatherings for the grown golden souls. The next one is next week, Sunday, June 29th, and the final installment, which will take place on July 27th. Ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause for Malika Maxwell. Next up, we have an international visual artist and cultural researcher. He goes by the name of Lisandro Suriel. What happened? No noise for the man? What happened? I said the lady's name, everybody. Woo! Don't do that. All right. Now, he was born and raised in St. Martin, and his education includes research, MA in Arts and Culture, Artistic Research from the University of Amsterdam, a Bachelor of Design and Photography from Royal Academy of Art in The Hague. His signature project, called Ghost Island, which is an ongoing documentary of imagination. It explores Black Caribbean narrative beyond colonial history. It uses a magic realist approach to document ghost stories and oral history. Stages folkloric figures as historic agents in cultural memory. Major recognitions include FOAM Amsterdam Talent back in 2021, selected as one of 20 talents cover image. Vogue Italia Photo Vogue Festival Grand Winner in 2021. Human Rights Watch official partner of AI. Can you say this? Wait. That's something like a Spanish person would say. Wait. An activism initiative. Also, Glasgow Museum's collections, which she has 3 prints which were acquired. International exhibitions include solo shows at Unseen Photo Fair, Gallery Foreign Agent, Chris Slade Gallery, and also group exhibitions at National Maritime Museum in Amsterdam, Contemporary Art Center in Cincinnati, and political presentations to Dutch State Secretary and UN representatives. I want to hear a big round of applause for Lisandro Suriel. Next up, we have a Resort Management Leader and Tourism Association Board member who goes by the name of Miss Edna Evans. Now, she's the director of the Bel Air Beach Resort, one of St. Martin's premier timeshare resorts. Her education includes a bachelor's degree and 2 master's degrees, including in recent education masters. With 8 years experience as the general manager of the then Summit Resort and current director of Bel Air Beach Resort, she's an active member of the St. Martin Hospitality and Trade Association and a board member of the St. Martin Timeshare Association. Industry leadership includes SHTA Data and Research Committee member, National St. Martin Tripartite Committee member, which advises government on labor and represents private sector associations in government relations. Recognitions include Women in Tourism Caribbean Certificate, known as Evans throughout the industry, highly respected professional mother to 5-year-old son, 12-year-old son? They have 5-year-old here. I went to St. Martin Academy and we learned how to read good. I'm just saying. Gotcha. Ladies and gentlemen, make a round of applause please for Miss Edna Evans. And congrats on your son graduating, by the way. And our last, certainly not the least, next panelist, sorry. Is none other than our very own Broadway performer and cultural foundation leader, Ms. Nicole Chantal DeWeaver. Her background includes NYU Tisch School of Arts graduate, St. Martin Cultural Ambassador, founder and president of Art Saves Lives. Broadway and performance achievements include Fred and Adele Astaire Award as the Best Female Dancer on Broadway, ACCA Award, Outstanding Broadway Chorus for Musical, Fela. Performed at the Tony Awards, BET Awards, The View, and Stephen Colbert Report. World tours include West Side Story, Fela, Off Broadway to Broadway to World Tour. Choreographer collaborations include Catherine Dunham, Bill T. Jones, Joey McNeely, George Faison, Frank Gatson. Also, VMA award-winning choreographer Jeffrey Page for Beyonce projects, including Girls Run the World, Grown Women, and Billboard Awards, Chime for Change. Media and film, American Gangster by Ridley Scott as an actress. American Library of Congress, Catherine Dunham documentary, multiple commercials and PBS specials. Academic recognition, Dictionary of Caribbean and Afro-Latin American Biography, Oxford reference. Textbook used at Harvard, Johns Hopkins, Yale, and yeah, it's a lot more. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for Nicole Chantal DeWeaver. Make sure these microphones are on. You guys gonna feel free to rotate these microphones. Can we get a round of applause for all the As you know, we get to talk arts in different sectors because arts is a major thing. I know we come from a small little island, 37 square miles, because I live on St. Martin. I don't live on the Dutch side, I don't live on the French side, I live on a Caribbean island in the beautiful blue sea that is called St. Martin. Alright?
Amen.
So we're going to start this off right away. Commercialization and authenticity. Anyone can feel free to grab the mic, answer as you wish. How do you sell your creative work without losing your soul?
Great question.
So we have multiple mics. Feel free.
Okay, besides, now we have really loaded questions. Good evening. I feel like I need to call Benji and everybody, so should have to join me up here to answer this question. As an artist, a singer particularly, that is always very slippery grounds. We've all heard the horror stories of the music industry. And remaining true to yourself, whatever you determine yourself to be, for me is always very difficult. And I saw a quote the other day that said, the real flex as an artist is remaining yourself when nobody's clapping. And that hit home. Because I'm going to take what I do as an artist as an example, for instance. You know when you come to a Maxwell event, what to expect. But it's not necessarily the type of events that would draw 3, 4, 5, 600 persons. Because I set myself in a particular space. It's no secret that I come from the church, that I'm Christian as well. So I've had that struggle as well with singing out in the world and you're a Christian. So I would say it's very difficult. I think that just like a solution to that is having your team around you that keeps you focused
and having an end goal, knowing why you do it, and knowing why you do it will help you determine how to do it. So that's just me. I don't know if anybody wants it.
I wanted to follow up on that. And I think what you said at least reminds me of making a space for yourself, essentially. I want to kind of share a story of what kind of happened to me in my journey into my career. When I was in my bachelor's, I participated in many portfolio reviews where people from the industry kind of come and scout this new talent. And then this is also my question: what kind of creativity does industry produce? For like when we talk about the freedom to create versus producing on command for someone else's vision. During this portfolio review, they looked at everyone's work in the room. Those portfolio reviews with people that work with Donna and Steve Klein, very, very big names in the industry. And in this portfolio review, when they looked at my work, they actually told me, they're like, of everyone in this room, you have the best work and the most potential to become an amazing fashion photographer. However, I would never hire you, basically, is what he told me. And the reason why is because he said, in fashion, when you want a burger, you get a burger. And with you, if I were to ask you to give me a burger, your mind is so wild that I might get a pizza or an ice cream. And then he told me, like, what you need to do to get in the industry is you find a photographer whose work and style you like, and you do an internship with them, and you steal their style, and you steal their contacts, and then you're in. And there was very clear instructions. And it was in this moment, and I think it was my third year, my bachelor's, where I had to really think, who am I, and what do I really want to make? Do I want to make a commercial success, which I can do because I got the instructions, and I'm very, very good at following instructions, or do I have my own story to tell? And then that takes, I think, a lot of bravery, because then you kind of have to carve your own space, your own niche space, and it's sometimes very difficult to find examples of what that looks like. So a lot of us are still kind of discovering. I mean, we're all sitting here today, but it is still a journey to find that space.
Sure.
I think it's interesting. So they were basically telling you to steal someone else's intellectual property. And I think that's really, really dangerous, crazy. But I think that shows as well how important artists should look at and think about their intellectual property and how important it is to make sure your art and creativity is part of your intellectual property.
I just wanted to kind of piggyback on what you were saying, Malika, in regards to kind of realizing, like, let's say the masses are not going to come out to your concert, but you have a specific demographic, an audience that you know that are going to be beyond satisfied with your work. And I think that is very important when you do have a voice that is different and that is not commercialized. And even if you veer over to be more commercial, that your authenticity is so imperative, especially now in the climate of the politics of how art and what art is about and what it has the power to do. Around the world globally, there is a conversation of,
there's the bar. Okay, I go to the bar.
Actually having to now stand up for itself because there may be lack of funding because of what's happening within the politics of what's happening within the world right now. And I think that voices of people that have something more to say is so needed, because now we can't rely solely on being charity cases or having to try to find the fans. Our authentic voice is so necessary and so needed that I think that we're almost in a place where we have to stand on our own lane or find and discover our own lane and trust that our voice and what we are trying to create is what the audience and the masses need to hear. And I think the first place it has to come from is trusting ourselves and what we have to say. And we will be very surprised to see how we will bring the masses.
artists.
Thank you, indeed. And from a commercial perspective, we're so accustomed of hearing everybody else's culture in our music, and in our artistic expressions. And I love it when I get to hear our music. And not only do I love it, but our guests love it as well. They come here to experience St. Martin. They come here to experience what we have to offer. They didn't come here for any other Caribbean island, they came here specifically for St. Martin. So when they hear something that is St. Martin, or with the St. Martin twist, they truly appreciate it, because that's what they're there for. And so, to your own self be true. My mother always said, every cloth got the owner. So it might not look good on you, but it will look good on somebody else. And if I look around the room, there are a lot of beautiful cloths in here. Some I can't wear, because I'll never be able to put it off. But it looks good on you. And so, for artists, if you have a particular genre, you may not have an audience today or tomorrow, but continue to hone in on what your genre is. And eventually, you will have an audience, and that audience will tell other people, because they have a saying, like, look for like, sort of do sort, and then you will eventually, your audience will grow. But to thine own self be true, and continue to develop your particular talent.
Thank you very much. Next question would be, just to piggyback off of that one, can commercial success and artistic integrity coexist? So once again, can commercial success and artistic integrity coexist?
I will say definitely. When I was in the Broadway show Fela, it was about a Nigerian composer that was literally creating Afrobeat, the genre of music that spoke for people that did not have a voice. And it was like protest music. It was protest music. So here you have, on the Great White Way, which is Broadway, a musical that's solely around the voice of Fela Kuti and his protests against all the different Western forces that exist within what's happening with Nigeria and Africa and globally to people of color. And everyone would think, well, if you're having such a deep social message, you're not going to fill the seats. Nobody wants to hear a sad story. No one wants to be preached to. And that was one example for me that you can create authentic commercial work that has a social message that may not be commercial, that people are willing to hear because whether they relate to it or not, they're being taught something, they're leaving the theater thinking beyond being entertained, and it lends itself to a deeper conversation. So I hope I answered your question, but I think I did. All right.
Guys, we're still here. We're here at the Let's Talk Art event.